And more specifically, what we are looking for various output that is related to benchmark. It can be building datasets. It can also be formulating new tasks based on existing datasets, and it can also be developing metrics so that we can do better evaluation of deployment-centric development. What's beyond, for example, beyond accuracy and efficiency? What are the other metrics that we can develop so that we can better measure how deployable our solutions are? And we want to develop better baselines to be more complete, because we see recent research, many research nowadays, they will just ignore classical, like interpretable machine learning methods, where they can actually be competitive and efficient. And because this is a funding supported by the TERC, we want your proposal to align with at least one or more TERC areas, that 8 areas. And your proposal need to reflect real-world deployment relevance. Right? So we fully understand it's impossible or quite unlikely to have something that is fully deployable, but we want to bring our solution closer, right? So in one aspect, it should be more deployable, at least compared to many of the existing efforts. And we want you to share output openly, your code, your data, documentations. This is because nowadays our research largely based on open source software, and we know how good, how powerful they are. And by breaking those silos and bring people together to share output, it can make our research work better, more transparent, and more impactful. And lastly, we expect us to involve industry and end users, because this is one of our primary objectives, is to make our solution more deployable. And industry is really good at that. They are funded to deploy technologies. Therefore, we think the involvement of industry and end users is essential for your proposal. And as we have detailed on the website and our core document, we have, in this first round, we make available 160K. At the total funding for each project, the maximum we can fund will be 40,000 at 80% FEC. That means your FEC can be 50,000. Your project can be up to 12 months. And we are aiming to support 4 to 8 projects. And we particularly emphasize on cost effectiveness, because our funding is limited, it's bounded. And so therefore, for each project, the more we give to each project, the less we have available for other projects. Therefore, we have to consider cost effectiveness. And we have a detailed timeline for this call. And here I only emphasize a few very important dates that are more critical to people who are interested in participate. The UI deadline will be 24th of September. That is 1 week after our third workshop on multimodal AI. And then the full proposal deadline will be 17th of November, mid of November. We will notify you the UI results in about early October, 3rd of October. So you have about 1.5 months to develop your full proposal. Of course, we hope that you already have developed your ideas before that deadline. From now on until then, we have from now until November, we have 4 months time for you to develop. And then for the shortlisted proposals, we will require all the shortlisted proposals to prepare a video pitch, 3 minutes, maybe around, and then submit the pitch, and we will upload to our YouTube channel by 8th of December. And this will be shared through our LinkedIn with the broader community so that we can get feedbacks from the community. And we expect the funded project to start at the latest by 1st April 2026. And the critical information is, of course, who is eligible to apply. As we are EP-SRC funded projects, we need to satisfy the standard EP-SRC eligibility criteria we have stated in our core document. If you are not clear, I think you can clarify either with us or with your research office. Usually they will better understand the rules and criteria. And the other 4 criteria we listed is specific to this core. As I mentioned, we want to support and encourage and incentivize deployment-centric research. Therefore, we will require you to have at least one industry partner who will provide a letter of support at the time of full application to make meaningful contributions. And we also expect you to have a clear engagement plan because we are building a benchmark. If the benchmark is only for the research team themselves, it's not a useful benchmark. We have to think about end users so that our benchmark can lead to further research and eventually contribute to deployment. And we expect open research in terms of open software, open data that will be made open and freely accessible. And because of the time frame and the open nature, we also expect at least one of the applicants will have experience in building benchmarks or contributing to open research. And our evaluation criteria will be respectively consider the following key aspects. The first one is they need to be relevant to the PDRAs, where there's a detailed report, and we will emphasize that on our UI. And it need to be relevant to deployment needs, right? So it cannot be something purely. It's not, for example, we are not supporting blue sky research in this benchmarking efforts. And we will also value the scientific value and the innovation in your proposal, in your benchmark. Just to clarify, this innovation doesn't mean only model, right? So we look at innovation across the whole pipeline. It can be innovation at the data side, can be innovation in the evaluation side, can be even innovation of the process. The protocol, it doesn't have to be model innovations. And we want your project, of course, to be feasible and also cost effectiveness. We need to deliver the maximum value over the funding provided. And we will look at the potential impact of your project and how much you have reused our precious resources, mostly are funded through past projects that are where their values are not maximized or even extracted. And we will look at how you engage the community, including the industry partners, end users, and other stakeholders, and how open you are. And we will look at how diverse and inclusive your team and your research plan is.